When the market was moving very quickly and you can really underprice your property, have it on the market for 5 to 7 days and sell it crazy over asking, was it important? I would say yes. Was it as important as it is today, where it is taking longer to sell properties and you really have to attract that buyer to come in? It is way more important now than it was before. Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. So we're going to talk about staging and how does staging impact your house, and is it worth to stage your property? Before I get into staging, what we're really talking about here, guys, is we're talking about the presentation of likely your most valuable asset. Before we even get into staging, here are some things that you should probably do, okay? You should probably declutter, okay? And I know all of your stuff is all good and everything else like that, and every single seller I've met, all their stuff is awesome. But the way that you have to look at your property, your most valuable asset, when you're going to go sell it, you have to look at it as a product, a commodity on the marketplace. You have to really be able to detach your emotions from this product and put it and try to position it on the market as the most shiniest thing that's out there and attract as many people as possible to it. Everyone lives in a certain way in their property, and I think that's awesome, okay? Nobody really lives in a staged property unless you're weird like me, and I think my property looks staged most of the time, and that's just weird. I'm gonna be the first guy to admit it, it's weird, okay? What you should probably do first is you should probably declutter. And the best part about decluttering is if you're working with me, we're gonna drop off free boxes for you. I had to plug it. But you should declutter your property, okay? That's the best way of doing it. The next way of doing this is that anything that you really are not going to be moving over to your new house, just get rid of it right now. You know all of the stuff that you have in your basement from when you moved into your property 5 years ago that you haven't unboxed? Let me do you a favor. Don't even bother. Just take those boxes and donate them. Just get rid of them right now because you're probably not going to need them. The idea, what I'm really trying to get to, guys, is just get rid of as much stuff as possible, especially the stuff that you're not going to carry to your new house. Just get rid of that right now. The stuff that you won't need for the next few months until the property is sold and you move into your next property, store those very nicely in the boxes we give you, okay? All neat and tidy, stack everything up very nicely in your basement. No problem if you have stuff in your basement. If you have a finished basement, it's a little bit different, okay? Because we want to show off that real estate at the same time. So try not to cram up your basement if it's finished. Try to put everything else in the garage. And garage is an awesome place to store stuff. People understand what a garage is, so you really don't have to add much to displaying your garage. So if it's full of furniture and boxes, as long as everything's neat and organized, and if possible, set a little path so somebody could walk into there, I think that's going to be just fine. That's really the basics of getting your property ready for presentation, okay? The next thing that you can do is really look at the finishes of your property and the overall condition of how it looks right now. The things I would consider right now is paint, okay? Paint is a very easy, and I don't want to say cheap, but it is a low cost, high impact type of thing to carry out in your property where you could really add some value, especially if you need it, okay? If you have kids, they've written on your walls, you've got some furniture scrapes, whatever the situation is, normal wear and tear, okay? The other thing also I would consider is a smaller type of upgrades, okay? If your floor or carpet is like not that great and you got problems with it, it's damaged, maybe consider getting a quote and seeing if it's actually worth and within your budget to replace these type of things. Should you replace your kitchen countertop? Should you paint your kitchen cabinetry? Should you replace your windows or your roof? Should you finish your basement? These are all very specific type of questions and hard to answer. But the basics of it is declutter, get rid of stuff that you don't need, look into painting, and look at your flooring, okay? So these are basic things that I can suggest to you. This brings us into staging your property. Now, is there any value in actually staging your property? This is my opinion about it. When the market was moving very quickly and you can really underprice your property, have it on the market for 5 to 7 days and sell it crazy over asking, was it important? I would say yes. Was it as important as it is today, where it is taking longer to sell properties and you really have to attract that buyer to come in? It is way more important now than it was before. Before it was important, I'm always a very big believer on having a great presentation for your property, but it's very much more important right now, okay? Staging can be an expensive investment. Even a basic thing for somebody to come into your house, even if they use all of your furniture and it's Might sound crazy, but it will probably cost you if they use all of your furniture, not even bring in furniture, and they're just gonna bring in simple stuff like soft goods. Like I say soft goods are artwork, cushions, throws, maybe an area rug, things like this. Depending on the size of your house, it could cost between $1,000 to $2,000 just for somebody to come in and tweak your stuff around and add in accessories to try to tie it all in together. If you need some basic furniture, maybe a room or two staged or something like that, depending on the situation, and I'm just throwing a rough estimate out there, it could cost between $2,500 and $3,000. If you have a house that needs complete staging, you could be north of $4,000, starting around like, maybe $3,500 to $4,000. There's some properties that we've staged that are, upwards of $7,000 to $8,000, okay? So it could really depend on what it is. Do I think overall it's a good investment? I think so, but you gotta be careful about what you're doing. If you have floors that are completely messed up and then you're like, I'll just stage, I think you probably need to reconsider, okay? Depending on what the condition is. There may be other places that you should invest in your property before staging as well. But overall, the impact I think is gonna be really, really good for your property to show well. Why do I say that? Well, the first place people start to shop for real estate is online. And I am a true believer of being able to position your most expensive asset in the most possible way where we could get the most attention on it. So what is that going to require? The first thing we would do to position your property in the best possible way, and anyone should be doing this, is basically going through these steps of decluttering the property, make sure that the upgrades or the painting and everything, the property overall shows well, adding an element of staging into the property. The next step we also take from there is having very, very good photographer, videographer. And the next step after that is actually exposing the property. Now, putting it on MLS and appearing on realtor.ca and getting an IDX feed to all of these other websites, that's great. It's going to drive a lot of traffic for you. But that only is initially, okay? The first week or 10 days, you're going to get attention. But guess what's going to happen after that? You're likely going to see a huge drop off on your showings. And what's going to carry you forward from there? It's going to be the realtor's marketing plan based on that. We have a very strong, I believe, we have a very strong social media platform where we create different types of media to attract different people, and even the same people get attracted to our new marketing that we actually put out because of the way that we'll reposition certain things over a certain period of time to attract more attention to that product. So the presentation online is going to be very important, but it all starts with the setup of that property. Once a property is set up correctly and you collect that media, then you can expose it. Again, guys, I think it's going to be very important because I believe that when a buyer comes to your property, they're probably 70% committed to buying your property because they've already sorted out your price. They sorted out the number of bedrooms, the washrooms, do you have a finished basement, what neighborhood are you in, what schools there are. Likely they've sorted this out if it means something to them. What they're going to try to figure out right now is all the tricky pictures and videos we put up. Does that floor plan actually work for us based on us walking around the property? Even more so, what I find with my buyers is they more or less decide when they open that front door. They get this overwhelming feeling, an emotional attachment to the property. And that emotional attachment is overwhelming sometimes for these clients, and they will actually pay for that feeling. Remember, guys, if you think about anything, whatever you're buying it on your emotions. Fine, it's a necessity, but you're also having a component of your emotions that's affecting you. Think about buying organic fruits versus non-organic fruits. Your emotions are really involved with that, and because of that, you're actually paying a premium for that organic. It's the same thing with a property and positioning that property on the market. If somebody gets that feeling, like a show home feeling, and they can see their kids running around in there and hosting parties in there and everything is looking great, and they can envision that, that's where you're going to capitalize on the sale of your property. I really appreciate you guys watching this video to the end. I know some of you guys have gone through this process of setting up your property and staging it and having it on the market. What do you guys think? Did it impact the sale of your property? How'd you feel about it? What do you guys think about the cost of staging? Because I know sometimes it could be a sticker shock. I would really like to know what you guys think. And again, if you guys are going to be planning on putting up your property, do you think you're going to go with staging, or do you think you're just going to kind of spruce it up yourself and try your luck on what's going to happen? Let me know what you guys think. Send me an email, give me a call, or just leave me a comment and I'll make sure I reply back to that. Until next time, remember one thing, guys, get cabani get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.